mind working hard, but I tell you how I feel. I'm working on a day, and I want an honest deal.
We start work early at Safeway, so you can get hot, fresh baked breads, pastries, and special cakes whenever you shop at a fair and honest price.
I'm working on a day, and I want an honest deal.
Safeway, believe it or not.
You can't do better than real.
Brought to you in part by Advanced Bear.
What's your history IQ? Take a look at this headline. Hostages taken in Iran.
Contestants, which one of these three statements is false? Over 50 U.S. hostages taken in 1979, seized in U.S. Embassy in Tehran, Shah vacationing in Egypt at the time. John.
Shah vacationing in Egypt at the time.
You're right, John. You may be on your way to $250,000 as we play History IQ.
And now please welcome our host, Mark Summers.
Thank you to our audience in the studio and to you at home. Welcome to History IQ Tournament Edition, where one of our contestants is going to win $250,000. Today we're in a preliminary round of our competition. You can play along with today's game at home simply by logging on to historychannel.com and playing online right now. In the meantime, what do you say we meet today's three contestants? Steve, a Presbyterian minister from Statesville, North Carolina. Alice, a utility regulator from Clifton Park, New York. And John, a police telecommunicator from Chicago, Illinois. Nice to see you here. I believe you're our first bow tie of this new season, so we welcome you with that. And Alice, it's my wife's name, and John, something I want to talk to you about a little bit later. You have $100. Let's talk about our first category. It is the Cold War. What's going to happen is I will show you a headline and then read you three statements. You have to determine which is the false statement. If you do that, I reward you with $100 and a chance at a $50 follow-up. Keep in mind, anytime during the day you're incorrect, we will have to deduct money from your score, and low score at the end of the round, that's 4 categories, you're going to be eliminated from the game. Good luck. Cold War, the category. First headline is, Khrushchev, we will bury you. Which one of these three statements is false? Khrushchev uses phrase in Paris in 1956, makes famous secret speech the same year, became Communist Party secretary in 1953. Yes, Steve.
Khrushchev uses phrase in Paris in 1956.
And you have $100. Very good. For the lead, with an additional 50, Steve, where was Khrushchev when he uttered, "We will bury you" in 1956?
In New York at the UN.
That is incorrect. He was in Moscow at the Polish embassy. We will deduct 50. And here is our next headline. Gorby's a reformer. Remember, we're looking for the false statement. Introduces glasnost and perestroika in 80s. In English, glasnost means restructuring. Gorbachev replaced Chernenko in 85. Yes, Steve.
In English, glasnost means restructuring.
150 is what you have. On your way to 200 with the correct answer, what does the Russian word glasnost mean in English?
Clearness.
Will we accept that? Yes, or openness. We have $200 on the board for you. John, in a $100 amount, and Alice, not yet heard from you, but I'm sure we will. Here's our next headline. Cuban Missile Crisis ends. Which one of these three statements is false? U.S. promises to remove missiles from Greece. Kennedy lifts naval blockade on Cuba. Crisis began in October of 1962. Yes, Alice.
Crisis began in October 1962.
We will deduct 100. John or Steve? Yes, John.
U.S. promises to remove missiles from Greece.
From Greece is right. We will add 100. You have 200 and a high for first for Steve. You can take the lead on this next question. As part of the crisis resolution, John, from what country did Kennedy promise to remove U.S. nuclear missiles? Turkey. You are right. You've got the lead. Out of that category, 250 for John, 200 for Steve, minus 100 for Alice. And a new topic would be 1900 to 1909. Here's our first headline. Black organization established. Which one of these three statements is false? NAACP is created in 1909, founded in Atlanta, Georgia. Du Bois, one of group's first leaders. False statement, founded in Atlanta, Georgia. All right, no money going forward or backward on that one. Here's our next headline. Jews killed in Russia. Remember, we're looking for the false statement. Violent pogrom occurs in April of 1903. Jews terrorized by mass thousands. Russian word pogrom means devastation. Alice,
Violent pogrom occurs in April 1903.
we're going to deduct another 100. John or Steve, you can do it if you'd like. 50-50 shot now. Jews terrorized by mass thousands. The name of the group who terrorized them was the Black Hundreds. We hear that sound. It means we're out of this category. We'll take a little breather and find out about your lives. Steve, it says you like to visit Civil War battles, the sites with your son. How old is your son?
My son is 15.
And he must enjoy this at this point of his life.
He does very much. We went to Gettysburg last summer.
And does he have a favorite?
I believe Gettysburg would be his favorite so far.
Very good. Nice to see you on our show. And Alice, you have a connection with 3 Mile Island. We'll turn off the lights and see if you glow in the dark. Tell me what the experience was.
I was substitute teaching on the day of the accident, and people were pulling their kids out of school. They were trying to keep everybody calm.
How close were you?
Within about 10 miles.
Oh my gosh, unbelievable. Scary. People often think about that. I know I do. John, you host your own show on the internet, Obscure Rock and Roll. What's the most obscure song you can think of with an obscure artist?
Buzz the Fuzz by Biff Rose.
By Biff Rose. Do you remember an artist by the name of Monty Rock III?
Oh, sure.
Can you name one of his songs?
He had a song called I Did the Rock, or I Dig the Rock.
I Dig the Rock, I think it was. Very good. Man, you know your stuff. Say thank you for all of our folks for being here, audience. John, Alice, and Steve. And remember, low score at the end of this round will be eliminated from the game. We have a new category. It is famous quotes. Good luck. Here's your first headline in that category. U.S. House divided. Which one of these 3 statements is false? Lincoln makes famous speech in 1858, delivers it in front of White House, debates Stephen Douglas the same year. John.
Delivers it in front of White House.
Yeah, 350. John, that's the way to do it. For $400 here, where did Lincoln deliver his famous House divided speech?
Springfield, Illinois.
Or the Illinois Republican Convention? Either one would have worked, and you do have $400. And a new headline. Jones hasn't begun to fight. We're looking for the false statement. John Paul refuses to surrender in 1779, fights British on ship Bon Homme Richard. His real name is John Jones Egan. Yes, John.
His real name is John Jones Egan.
You have $500. For an additional 50, John, what was John Paul Jones' birth name?
John Paul.
You're right, 550. First position, Steve, 200. Alice, you got to get out of that negative territory. Here's your next headline. Louis XIV, l'état, c'est moi. Which one of these 3 statements is false? Louis' proclamation means I am the state, persecutes French Catholics during reign, succeeded his father, Louis XIII. Alice.
Persecutes French Catholics during reign.
You're right. We have minus 100 for you now. So you can get this $50 follow-up. Louis persecuted French Protestants, which were known by what name?
Huguenot.
Yes, that's what we like to see. There's 50 now out of the category. John still in the lead at 550, Steve 200, Alice minus 50. Final category of the day, African history. Here is our first headline. Egypt launches pyramid scheme. We're looking for the false statement. Largest Egyptian pyramid named Khufu, known as Cheops in Greek. Nearby Sphinx is half man, half horse. Alice.
Nearby Sphinx is half man, half horse.
Plus 50 now. Way to go. For an additional 50, Alice, your follow-up, the Egyptian Sphinx is actually half man, half what?
Lion.
Yes. $100 for you. First position, but not far from Steve in second. Here's our next headline. Mandela, new South African prez. We're looking for the false statement. Wins country's first democratic election. Runs in 1994 as ANC party candidate. Shared 1993's Nobel Prize with Fouché. Steve.
Shared 1993's Nobel Prize with Fouché.
You have $300 now, Steve. For 50 more, with whom did Mandela actually share the Nobel Peace Prize in 1993?
The clerk.
You are right, and you do have 350. And another headline. Anwar Sadat goes to camp. Which one of these 3 statements is false? Meets with Shamir at Camp David in 1978. Found the National Democratic Party same year. Led Egypt in a war with Israel in 73. John.
Meets with Shamir at Camp David in 1978.
650 for you, John. possibly up to 700 with the correct answer. With what Israeli leader did Sadat meet at the Camp David talks?
Bacon.
Yes, Menachem Begin is right, and you do have $700. That sound means we are out of the round. 700 for John, 350 for Steve and Alice. You know what? You were doing great. If we had a few more moments, we would have been in really terrific shape. A pleasure to meet you. Thanks for being on History IQ, Harvey. What do we have for us?
Mark didn't get off just biking your new dimension with a vertical that really knows how to climb. The aluminum frame and dual suspension can handle the most demanding terrain for vertical peak performance. Back to you, Mark.
We have a police communicator up against a minister. It should be interesting. 700 to 350, and we're going to come back, and when we do that, we're going to go to our try-two round, of course, to our timeline, and then one of these people is going to go a little bit closer to $250,000. Who's it going to be? We'll find out together right after this.
Playing along at home, would you have been eliminated along with Alice? Stay tuned. We're going to come back and get those Holiday Inn Express online scores. It all happens right after this, so don't go anywhere. The History IQ Tournament Edition. Got a great game going on here in the studio today. Let's get you home players and your latest scores. You know, you can play along at home just by logging on to HistoryChannel.com right now to make some history of your own. Here once again, Mark Summers.
Thank you so much, honey. Welcome back to History IQ. Another good game going on. Check the scores with me. Find out that John is in first place with $700. Steve in second position at $350. As we move into our try-Q round, here's what's going to happen. I'll show you a list of three related items and ask you a question. If you get it right, $200 goes on your side of the board and a chance at a $100 follow-up. After that, we'll move into our speed challenge. One of you will have a high score, which means you move on to the $5,000 timeline. More importantly, a step closer to $250,000. Good luck. Here's our first try-Q of the day. Little boy, Tiny Tim, Mini-Me. Name the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima in 1945. Yes, John. Little boy, that is right. You have $900. The follow-up is about shortness. Would you like to play or pass? I'll play. Okay, for 100. Who was the shortest American president of all time? Was it William Howard Taft, James Madison, or Jimmy Carter?
James Madison.
Was only 5'4". $1,000 is what you have. That's a tough one. Here's our next try-Q. Astor, Abel, Jingleheimer Schmidt. Which John Jacob co-founded what is now the New York Public Library? John. Astor. Yes, it is John Astor. 1,200 is what you have. Tom, our writer, likes to have fun every now and then. Follow-up is about John Jacob Abel. Would you like to play or pass? I'll pass. For 100. See if your strategy works. Pharmacologist Abel taught at Johns Hopkins University, Steve, which opened in what city in 1876? Was it Washington, D.C., Baltimore, or Cleveland?
Baltimore.
450, and worked against you, John. Interesting move. Here's our next try-Q. In God We Trust, E pluribus unum, these colors don't bleed. Which motto appears on the Great Seal of the U.S.? Steve.
E pluribus unum.
You have $650. And a chance at a $100 follow-up about the Great Seal. Would you like to play or pass?
Play.
For 100. What animal appears on the Great Seal of the United States? A wolf, an eagle, or a lion?
An eagle.
You have $750. Next to you is Boyd John here. He is currently in first position. And here's our next try-Q. 39th, 41st, 42nd. Which president was not a Democrat? Ooh, it was George Bush, our 41st president, who is definitely not a Democrat. No scores moving, but we do have another try-Q. Croatia, Serbia, Bosnia. In which modern country did the 1984 Olympics occur? Steve.
Bosnia.
950 now on your side of the board. It's interesting. Follow-ups about Croatia, playing or passing. Play for 100. When did Croatia join the Federal Republic of Yugoslavia? 1918, 1945, or 1965?
1918.
That is incorrect. It is 1945. We will deduct $100. Still have $850. John at $1,200. And another try-Q. Reformation, Restoration, Antebellum. Which best describes the period prior to the U.S. Civil War? John? Antebellum. 1,400 for you. The follow-up is about restoration. You could play or you could choose to pass. I'll pass. For 100. Worked against you last time. Which of the following is not referred to as a restoration, Steve? Is it France in the 1820s, UK in the 1660s, US in the 1870s?
U.S. in the 1870s.
Worked against you again, John. Another $100 for Steve brings him up to $950. Here's our next try cue. Alexander the First, Alexander the Second, Alexander the Third. Name the Russian Tsar who issued the Edict of Emancipation. Steve.
Alexander II.
You're right, you have 1,150 rather. And that's how it means we're out of our try-twos. John in first position at 1,400. Steve not far behind at 1,150. Here's what's going to happen. We are going to move on to our speed challenge. I'm going to ask you a series of rapid-fire questions, and when I do, if you're right, you'll add $100 to your score. Incorrect, we will deduct 100. High score at the end moves closer to $250,000. What's our category today to our speed challenge? It is 1 cent, 5 cents, 25 cents. I'm going to give you a fact. If I'm talking about Abe Lincoln, who appears on the penny, say 1 cent. If I'm talking about Tom Jefferson, who's on the nickel, you'll say 5 cents. And of course, George Washington, who graces the quarter, you will say 25 cents. Again, it's 1 cent, 5 cents, or 25 cents. Good luck. Let's begin. Served only one full term as president. Steve.
1 cent.
Lincoln, right. Was the son of Augustine and Mary. John.
5 cents.
25 cents. Washington, wrong. Rumored to have had an affair with Anne Rutledge. 1 cent. Lincoln. Attended the College of William and Mary. Steve.
5 cents.
Jefferson, right. You've got the lead. Represented the Federalist Party. John.
25 cents.
Right. Depicted in William Herndon biography. Steve. 1 cent. Lincoln, correct. Built Fort Necessity. John.
25 cents.
Correct. Wrote a summary view of the rights of British America. Time is, did he get in? No, he didn't. And John, with $1,500 by 50, you have won the game. Congratulations. Whoa, it's all I can say. It kept going back and forth. And you have to think about penny, nickel, whatever was going on there. I know, I was doing the same thing. John, a very tight game. Congratulations. Steve, you played so well. Thank you. It was a pleasure to meet you. And Harvey, what do we have for Steve?
Smart Kids, Nike Golf Learning Center is an innovative program designed to learn to play golf or improve your game. Have fun, get into the swing of it at Nike Golf Learning Center.
I know, it was kind of nerve-wracking there, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Now, on your little bio information, you are called a, what's the...
A police telecommunicator.
What exactly is that?
I take police calls, I dispatch the officers.
And you do that in what city?
Chicago, for the University of Illinois, Chicago.
No, you know what to say about Chicago?
It's,
What are you going to say?
it's a college town.
Well, I was going to say something else, but we'll wait about that. Anyway, we want to find out about your timeline and pick into this year. I love Chicago, by the way. 1920. Oh, Chicago 1920 is a little theme show going on here right now. Trying to give away $5,000. Have you gone online and played with us right now? You play in real time. So we choose to have you do that as you watch our program. We're going to come back and try and give away $5,000 on our way to $250,000 right after we do this. There you go.
How are you home players doing? We're going to come back and check those scores, plus we'll play the Holiday Inn Express timeline, and it all happens after this, so don't miss it. Welcome back to History IQ. John's about to take a shot at winning $5,000 at the Holiday Inn Express timeline. First, let's get the latest on the home player scores. Don't forget, you can log on to HistoryChannel.com and play History IQ online right now. And we go back to our host, Mark Summers.
John currently has 1,500. We're going to try and turn it into 5,000 line that I was going to say as we went to break as they say in Chicago, vote early and vote often. But that doesn't happen anymore, does it? No, not at all. We're going to talk about giving $5,000 by putting 10 headlines in proper chronological order, starting with the year 1920. Here's what's going to happen. A headline's going to pop up. It'll say something like this. Tussauds makes wax park. Some people think I'm already waxed. We'll touch a year there, and all you have to do is check it by hitting that check mark. If it's correct, it will stay there. Otherwise, it's going to the very top. Keep in mind, you can always hit the pass button, and then a new headline will appear. And once again, you can hit a year and check it one more time. Keep in mind, if you hit the check mark 3 times and it's wrong, the headline automatically dissolves and a new one will pop up. All you have to do is get all 10 in 60 seconds or less. We'll give you $5,000. Let's find out what your headlines are. They are: calf named Chief Justice, Pancho Villa assassinated, the Bambino hit 60 homers, massacre on Valentine's Day, Doheny charged in Teapot Dome, Irish Free State established, monkey trial verdict reached, Fleming discovers penicillin, American women get suffrage, and United States 150 years old. Your timeline begins in 1920 and concludes in 1929. We'll put up 60 seconds. We want to give you the money. Here's your first headline. Good luck. Calf named Chief Justice, you're passing. Going on to the next one, which is Pancho Villa assassinated. Passing on that one. Here comes your third one. The Bambino hit 60 home runs. You're going for 1923. Oh, you hit the pass button. Mistake there. Massacre on Valentine's Day. You're going to pass on that. 44 seconds remain. Doheny charged in Teapot Dome. You got that. Nice job. Irish Free State established. Going to try 1920, and that's dissolved away. You're going to pass. You're going to try again. There we go. Monkey trial verdict reached 1925. You got 30 seconds to get 8 others. Fleming discovers penicillin in 26. Nope, that goes away. Going to try it again. You're going to pass. Here's the next headline. American women get suffrage in 1920. Yes. Freedom in place. United States 150 years old. Yes. Calf named Chief Justice in 21. Now you're knocking him out. 5 to 2 in 12 seconds. Pancho Villa. Try it again if you want to. Yep. Got to hit 4 more in 5 seconds. Kind of hard to do. I believe that's right. 3 more in 2 seconds, and time is up. Oh, boy, you're so well at the end. Let's check out the 1922, which is Irish Free State established. 28, Fleming discovers penicillin. 29, massacre on Valentine's Day. The good news is we're going to see you back here on History IQ going for $250,000. I look forward to that. Thank you so much. I look forward to seeing you as well. We are on the History Channel. The show is History IQ. My name is Mark Summers, and I want to say thanks for watching. We'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.
The game may be over in the studio, but you don't have to stop playing History IQ. Just log on to HistoryChannel.com 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. John is moving on to our quarterfinals. Don't forget, follow the rest of our contestants as they battle it out for $250,000 right here on History IQ.